So I built an airport in Bloxburg. Hey everyone, it's Floatie and welcome back. So it's been a while since my last video and last time you saw me build a plane, and now I'm gonna be showcasing you my new airport. So this build is 3.6 million and also 100% lot data. So this build is now my most detailed and most expensive build for a while actually. So this is the build that made me go over plus 40 or plus 20% plot data. So yeah. So a little bit about this build. So again, it's 3.6 million and 100% plot data. It's airport with two planes as well as two gates, and it has a runway and a taxiway and a whole airport terminal. So a thing about this build is that the air traffic services are not included. So this is just the airport terminal itself. So this build is quite big, so let's get started. So we're gonna be starting with our departures. So departures, we're gonna be entering and will be met with our metal detectors. So this is our first screening of security. We have over here metal detectors for our items and here metal detectors for ourselves. So we could go through, get scanned, see I'm safe, then go through. So our first area is our check-in and screening. So here we'll be meted with this kind of thing. This is just a planter with like a decoration of planes. And over here would be our check-in. So if we still don't have a ticket, we could go through our self-ticketing counters here or go through this information and help desk here if we needed more assistance. This is more for support staff or workers or for passengers. So if they need more assistance than the self-ticketing counter, they could go here. But after they get their ticket, they could check in their baggages here. So you can see here we have our desks for our workers. They could sit here and check in with the people. And the workers could place their baggage here. So imagine I have a bag. Let's open our backpack. We still don't have luggages. I wish we had luggages. This duffel bag. So we have our bag and we could just place it here and check it in. Something like that. Like weird. I'm like staring at the camera. But we could check in our bag or carry them on. Depends on how you want it. But that's how you check in your items. And over here we have just the sitting area for us to prepare our stuff. So if you have something to get from our luggages, we could go. After that, we would be going through screening and boarding. So we're gonna go through security screening going up. We could either use the stairs, the escalators, or this lift over here. I put a lift here so that it's a lot more accessible. I didn't use an elevator just because it's a lot more expensive. This is like 6K and the elevator is like 30, so I chose the cheaper option. Since although this build is expensive, I tried my best not to make it expensive. I didn't want builds to be expensive just for the fact to be expensive. But on to the next part. Over here we have security screening. Over here, we just declare our stuff, go through our second metal detectors, and if we check if there's metal or not, or there's things that shouldn't be brought, they'll be taking it over and confiscating it to their TSA office. So this is a security office. This is where they put all the contraband or stuff that's not allowed to be brought onto planes. We have here security office, and that's pretty much it. We have some seating here, but that's just for people to help them put their shoes back on or stuff that they took so they could reorganize themselves and go on to the next part. So before the next part, we have this area, which is just a small hallway, but a cute feature that I wanted to put is to showcase a section of the plane in the airport so that people like prepare themselves on what they would see in the plane. This was at first meant to be like for staff training, but there wasn't really enough space since this structure goes over a floor tall, and I didn't want this plane to be taller than this airport to be a lot taller than it already is. It's a bit over 2 floors, less than three. So that's like the max height I would want to give myself, since especially on airports, you don't want your buildings to be tall. Just for the sake that it's safer for airplanes not to hit them. But here's our plane section. You can sit here, you can pretend on where you're going with this green screen over here. And yeah, but that's it for this part. We're now moving on to our departure gates. These are also the passenger amenities. So we have two gates. Gate 1, which is to our right, and Gate 2, which is to our left, as well as fire exits at both ends, so that in case of emergency, we can escape this airport. So let's go first to Gate 2. Let's go to Gate 2. So to our left, we have a duty-free store. We could buy some stuff here. So we could buy snacks here, drinks here, and some stuff here to be bought as souvenirs or just for stuff to eat on the plane. Over here, we have our gate, which would be where would we enter the plane from. So inside we have our jet bridge, which would be attached to the plane, as we see here. You could also access it downstairs with these stairs over here, as well as these stairs over here. So if you want to enter the plane from another route, we can. But before we enter the plane, we usually go and sit and wait, since we should go to airports on before it actually departs. It's just less stressful that way. So we have waiting areas over here. So what I like about these waiting areas is the exact number of seating, which is I think 36, is the same amount of seats on the plane. It's just a coincidence, but I really like that it turned out that way. And we also have more customer amenities. We have an ice cream store, as well as a coffee shop, which is Bo Bakery. So we have some stuff over here you could sell. Made everything pink because I didn't want to make cafe decals, so I asked my friends, and Glossy sent me hers. So now she has a branch of her bakery on this airport. Kind of cool. I really like that. There's like a references to other people on the build. But now let's move on to the other gate. It's like mirrored, but before that we have restrooms. So to the right we have the women's restroom. It's pretty simple. It's just toilets and stuff. We have a speaker here, so if there's an announcement, they could hear it. But it's pretty much the same thing at the other side as well. I didn't really add much. Most airport or like most role plays don't really put much in the bathrooms unless there's like something to put, but like it's really only the toilet for your goods. Over here, it's just a shortcut to this side from the other one. Then over here, we just have a small closet space. Just a closet space for the janitors and stuff. I wanted this build to be fun for both staff and passengers, so I tried making a balance of both amenities from them. At first, I wanted to put an air control tower, but there's really not a good area for it, and I feel like it really wouldn't do much. It's mostly detail for the design of the gadgets, which I know nothing about, so I didn't want to dwell on that. So let's move on. So this is the next store, which is a clothing and apparel store with like tons of products, mostly for fashion, stuff like that. So this is more for souvenirs. So we have like sunscreens, deodorants, hairspray. So if you're like visiting somewhere, you forgot some stuff, you could buy some stuff here, so you could easily have it after your flight. So now we have this here. We have a cashier. This is so cute. I like the cashiers. So we have a cashier, some clothing, stuff like that. And over here we have another food establishment. So these decals are from Froggy Hops, which is a bakery and cafe as well. But yeah. So we also have another waiting area here, and if you look at that, there's also TVs to see when the flights are happening. And I wanted this place to look a lot more cluttered than I usually do. So I like that this place looks like people are using it. Maybe it's a bit too messy, but I like it. Maybe it's just the paper lying around. But now that we have all of our customer amenities, now we've visited them, we could now ride our plane. So we could enter our gate, give our ticket to the person here, and enter the plane through our sky bridge. It's the same design as earlier, but I just want to show it again. So entering the plane, it's pretty much the same method as last time. We have a scooter. We'll just move the scooter away and we could enter the plane. So we have our the cockpit. So the captain can ride the plane. And over here we have first class and the economy class. There's no business class. I feel like the plane would be too big. The plane is already bigger than it should be. One thing I don't like about this build is how close the plane is to the airport. I'm already like at the edge of my plot. This is actually our carpet, so this goes over the plot boundaries, just like how this part goes over the plot. Yeah, so we have that, and yeah, this pretty much it. It's the same plane as before. So we have a bathroom here, our hallway, the staff. This is the stair exit. So if you're like departing the plane from the stairs, you could go through here, go under, and like go through here. It's kind of cool. Yeah. So after that, we could go back to the airport, or imagine this is a different airport, or we were from a different plane. With me? You imagined it? Okay. So now we're entering back, but instead of going through this part, we're gonna go to arrivals. So arrivals is when you enter the plane, you could either take the lift from here or the escalator. This lift is just for like people with luggage or like wheelchairs, so that it's a lot more accessible. That's like the same reason I also put like a lift at the first part. And this is a lift because elevators are too big. It's 2x2 and I only had like space for 1x1. In a perfect world, I would have made these ramps, but I didn't want like too steep of a ramp to be put here. So that's why I chose this solution. And over here we have again another set of restrooms. And next is arrivals. So we have customs here where we can declare our stuff. This is arrivals and baggage claim. So we're pretty much over with our flight. We're gonna get back our bags. We could use this cart and put our bags here, then go leave. So we also have another metal detector here just for safety. And we have some seating here, as well as some information desk, since we're entering a new country, so we need as much help as we can get. And we have like self ticketing here for taxis or maybe other rides. So that's pretty much it for the customers. Oh wait, we forgot this part. So we have this, which is our drop-off zone. We should have started with this. I don't know if I started with this. I've been speaking too fast and I forget what I'm saying. So we have our drop-off zone. This drop-off is for both arrivals and departures. So we have our arrivals here. So if we're entering the area, we need taxis and vehicles to leave us out. And we could go walk over here along. We could see people coming in to the airport, which is for our departures. They could also drop off from here. But what I like about this build is that I added these escalators going nowhere. But these are actually meant to go to a subway. I really like when transportations are like connected. So this airport is meant to be located within a stop of a subway station, so that if you're traveling alone especially, you could save a lot more money by using public transport rather than just renting a taxi everywhere. But that's it for our customer facilities. But that's not all for this airport, since we have stuff for our staff and back of house. So as seen before, we have our stores which staff could work on. We have our functioning kitchen. We have counter desks. We have also the janitor's closet, so if someone wants to clean the airport, they can. We have other store facilities. We have this cafe, which is also functional, a lot of stuff. Then we also have office spaces in this part, and we have the security room. So there's a lot of stuff, but there's also some stuff I haven't showed you yet. So over here, we have our offices. So this is like the main offices for the airport. There's a desk here and a desk here. So this is like cubicle style desks. We have a waiting area here, and over here is the boss's office. So this is like the captain or main pilot. I don't know why he has an office here, but that's how it goes. So there's like trophies of him laying around. You can sit here. This is the desk, and we have like promotional materials for the airport. And over here we have offices at the back. So here we have staff area. So this is like locker rooms. Here we have access to their desks. And over here we have the baggage area for departures. So these are the luggage carts on their way to board the plane. So luggage will be going through here from this area, from this part, go through this part. Then they're gonna exit and they're like gonna conveyor through, and we're gonna be loading them in. So imagine I am a ground. I'll be taking this and loading this here. Like that. So that's how you're gonna do that. Then I'm gonna be driving this. Whoa, this is so slow. But imagine I've driven that to this part. So now we're gonna be loading the plane. So this is how we're gonna be loading the plane. Gonna be taking this, placing it here. Shit! I'm allergic to something in that bag. Okay. We're gonna be loading the plane like that, and then we're done. We're gonna take that, and everything gets removed, which is kinda cool. So we're gonna go back to where we came from. So that's like the idea. And when we enter the plane, we're gonna be taking those bags again. But instead of placing them to the plane, we're gonna be taking them from the plane and placing it to the baggage claim area. So we don't have a bag here. We've put everything from this part to this part. So that's how it will enter. And it will just enter the conveyors from there to the other side. So yeah. So we also have some more offices here. Just simple ones. And it's accessible from this part. So that's it for this airport. It's actually quite big, and I'm really happy with how this turned out. Especially working in a limited space, having everything that I wanted to be actually put here is kind of surprising. I was expecting to only put one plane here, but I had plot data left, so I would be able to put two. So we have two planes, which is a lot, and they're large planes as well. But that's it for me today. I'm also planning to show a lot of videos about the process on building this airport. It took quite a while, so I'm planning to do it on multiple parts, so it's a lot easier for you guys to digest, and it's a lot easier for me to edit. But yeah, so if you want to see that, I hope you subscribe to this channel, and if you like this video, please like it. So yeah, that's it pretty much from me. If you want, yeah, goodbye. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.